What's up, guys? It's Cort Brady. This episode is personal and a little painful because I want to talk to you about a time I almost lost everything. Not because of our offer, but because I let the wrong people shape our culture and I didn't act fast enough. The next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through why your best people are quitting, the signs that you're probably missing, and what you can do about it starting today. So let's jump in. A few years ago, 8 of our employees quit in just 3 months out of a team of 22 people. They weren't interns or part-timers. These were our core operators, our core team. 2 of them were ultra high performers, culture carriers, people that I leaned on personally, but they were surrounded by C players, people who didn't care, people who didn't perform, and instead of fixing it, I tolerated it. Even your best people will break if you force them to carry dead weight. At first they stayed, but slowly, quietly, their behavior started to shift. Not because they were bad people, but because the environment was even stronger than their nature. They stopped believing that they could win. And when high performers feel like they can't win, they do one of 2 things. Either they disengage or they leave. One of them left and they recruited all of the others away. It was a mess. What's wild is I didn't see this coming. They were still producing, they were still hitting targets, but the cracks were already there. There was gossip, clicks, exclusion, less talk about customers and more talk about perks, less ownership over the processes and more lobbying. That's the moment I lost the culture. When the people stop talking about the mission and start talking about what they want without earning it, you're in trouble. These weren't bad people. They were hungry, they wanted to win. But when they stopped seeing a way to win through the business, they literally turned on it. When they left, this house of cards I had built fell. We were left with underperformers, people I should have let go months earlier. They couldn't even carry the cost of their own salary, let alone drive results. We were bleeding cash. We lost Bank of America, our biggest client, one of the largest banks in the country. And I was back in the weeds again, doing client work, cleaning up the mess. It was like we took 1 step forward and 3 steps back. Then something shifted. We made a decision that literally changed everything. I was at my wit's end and I knew something had to shift, so I drew a line in the sand and made a hard decision. I decided that moving forward, we will only tolerate A performance, period. Anything less, we call it out, we coach it, and if it doesn't change, we move that person to another company. I stopped letting C players shape my company. I stopped building systems to attract and retain the lowest common denominator and stopped being afraid of confrontation. There's one story I'll never forget. One of the guys who almost quit during all of this, he told me years later, I saw myself as a level 10 employee being managed by a level 7 leader. He was ready to leave, but somehow I caught it and shifted him from him reporting to that level 7 leader to reporting to me. That single change shaped the trajectory of our business. That employee went on to take significant leadership roles until it got to the point where I was ready to step out as CEO and had him replace me so that I could be full-time chairman of the board. That's what happens when you clear the runway for your best people. They stay, they lead, and they take the company further than you could have by trying to push and drag everyone along with you. They drive it. Now let's get real for a second. You don't fix retention with snacks or surveys or casual Fridays, and you definitely don't fix it by listening to every voice in the building. Not all people deserve to have a voice when it comes to your company. One of the worst pieces of advice I hear is that everyone should get a voice. But here's the truth. The loudest voices are usually your worst players. You build around their complaints and suddenly your best people are gone. The better move, go to your top 10%, the ones who take ownership, the ones who don't whine, they build, and ask them, what's broken? What would you do differently? What do you need to win? And then build around them. Here's what I'll leave with you. Coach, don't control. Appreciate your best people loudly and often. Build to attract, retain, and grow A players. And never, ever tolerate mediocrity. Your business will be shaped by the people you tolerate. So make sure you're tolerating the right ones. Thanks for watching. If this hit home, drop a comment, share it with a founder you know, and I'll see you in the next one.